Well, I didn't learn that we're a tough bunch who have tremendous resolve and the ability to come back and keep in games, because I already knew that. So I didn't learn that, but I learned that once again in tight European games you need to be pretty clinical in the early stages of the game. You need to have players who know their roles and carry out everything that they're supposed to do and not give a lead away to a top English side. Yeah. So that's what I learned, and I'm sure the players learned it as well.
What about from Saracens?
We didn't see too much that we didn't expect, quite honestly. It's just we didn't deal with it, man. So we knew Scott Blitz was going to come back and he'd have a big play in the game, big dynamic runner. They'd come with a big driving line out and a big kicking game with an aerial assault. So those are the areas probably that we lacked in. Defensively in the first half we started slowly and give them a head start, and you can't afford to do that. And there was a difference in the game really, and we'll be working hard and ensuring we will not be giving them a head start this week.
And your set piece was all over the place, was it? Is that fair to say? Your line out?
Look, we didn't get as much quality as we would have wanted. We only had 4 scrums, of which we won 2 penalties and we've given one against. One we played off to clear our lines, and that's the summation of our scrums. And line outs again, our quality and our delivery were down on what it normally should be. And a lot of credit goes to Steve Borthwick and his crew there, who did a bit of a job on us. So spooked our throwers a little bit and our callers, and it wasn't as it should be. So again, that's an area we need to tighten up this week.
We're back to that phrase, must win for this weekend, I guess, if you're going to qualify.
Yeah, I suppose it is. There's no hiding from the fact you've got to win your home games in Europe, and we've been in this situation before in back-to-back games. Fortunately, we've got a chance to go back home against the same team and put the record straight. So we spoke to the players today about knowing exactly what we need to do and knowing exactly what we need to prevent Saracens doing in terms of this pool now. And 3 games left, 2 games at home. If we can get what we need on a Saturday, we should be back in control.
So it's a win and denied on the bonus point, I guess.
I think that would be the ideal. We're obviously going for the win first and see if we can deal with any other scenario after that. There'll still be a lot to play for, as Treviso keep showing us, we keep telling everyone. But yeah, we'll be going out for the win of the weekend.
Are they still going to have a say in this group, Treviso, do you think?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I mean, Saracens have to go there, and they've shown already in the Pro 12. They know mugs on the road either. Going to Ulster and winning. So, oh yeah, they're a good team, much improved, and they will have a say in it. That's for sure.
Sean Adam was just talking on his future just before you came in, and he was saying that it's very difficult for players if they're offered sort of king's ransoms, if you like, to go abroad. What would you like to see done? Adam also mentioned it's difficult for the regions to afford to keep these players. Would you like to see some kind of joint funding package from the union?
I can't comment on that, Miles. That's not part of my remit to deal with those sort of things. That's for people in a hierarchy to deal with that. I just know that from a coaching point of view, I want Adam Jones to play at the Ospreys. Clearly they're at the premium at the quality tight ends, but it's not just that. It's the status he has. He's from this region. I taught Adam when he was 17. Known him a long time, his parents, and he loves it here. This is his home place, so it would be a downright shame if something wasn't worked out. But clearly market forces prevail, and we can't compete, particularly when you get an average of 6,000 crowd at home to add to your funding. So it's very difficult for us to compete, as it showed with James Hook. So I clearly hope something happens, because as a coaching team we want Adam here.
How easy is it to justify forking out that money though when you're with the Welsh Rugby Union for such long periods of the season?
Very difficult to justify, because they are away for such long periods. There are international windows 3 times a year, in the autumn, Six Nations, and then the summer. So if you had a Lions tour where Adam's reached those heights now, and a World Cup, it's very hard to justify. So you can see what we're dealing with here. I notice some of the other regions are banging on about it now. I can tell you now, we've experienced it for the last 5 or 6 years.
So is that all the more reason why you need help?
It probably is, but you know, the market forces determine that, don't they? And if these fellas do go for extra money, then they have to suffer the consequences as well. At the moment, we're seeing Lee Byrne and James and Mike Phillips and Craig Mitchell unavailable for the recent autumn test. That's a decision they have to make, and it's also a decision that the international union has to make as well. For us, you know, it has to be a balance. In Adam's case, you know, from a coaching point of view, I think it would be a good balance for us because, you know, as I said at the start, the position he plays in and the ability he has there, they're at the premium.
We took it 22 weeks, he'll be away next year if he plays in those 3 blocks. 10 at the first, 6 in the middle, and another 6 at the end.
Yeah, but as you saw this weekend in Europe, you know, quality tight head props are at a premium and they're invaluable in the European game. You know, you watch the Leicester Clermont game yesterday, it has a big say in the game. So I can only reiterate that there's a coaching team, you know, that we want to have him here.
The interesting correlation between expectation of fans, what you can actually do, and what do they turn up on as well, isn't it?
Mm.
You know, you can only have the team you can afford,
Mm.
and if you can't afford the team, then you know the punters have got to either put their money up and play a part in it or not.
You know,
It's difficult to criticise them, but by the same token, they need to know they've got a part to play.
Look, our supporters up in Wembley in the weekend were outstanding, you know, and in my time from the start, I've experienced lots of those things at Twickenham, going away in big European games and Magnus League, Celtic League, big games, finals and so on, that we have support there. It's I don't know whether it's too much rugby, whether it's accessibility on the television, whether it's Christmas in the winter months, I don't know, but I know we have value for money. You know, kids can come for £1 on the weekend to see the English champions against one of the best, if not the best, Welsh regional team with the likes of Shane Williams, Tommy Bowe, Ryan Jones, Adam Jones in the team. So it is a bit of a bewildering thing for us because clearly the boys enjoy and want to play in front of big crowds. We know there is a huge fan base out there. Our shirt sales and our previous ticket sales tell us that. So I'm not an experienced commercial stroke marketing person. I'm a rugby coach, or some people think I'm a rugby coach. And you know, it's quandary to me. I think it's a real shame. We've got a great stadium, we've got a great team and great opposition. So it's a fantastic competition. And it will make a difference. It does make a difference to the players, as it did on Saturday. They knew that our fans were there, and you know, they made a difference to us coming back in the end.
What do you make of the proposition of the Summer League? Of rugby being played in the
Well,
summer?
I only sat here with 4 layers on.
Do you think it's a good idea?
Yeah, I think you know, why not try something different? Whatever. I think what most people, no matter what field you're in surrounding rugby, that the structure season isn't necessarily working for us, is it, in the Northern Hemisphere? The power lies in the South. So it's very difficult for us. You know, we had boys coming back in now from being 2 weeks with Wales. You know, sometimes it affects their selection, and whether that's right or wrong, that's the nature of it. And we come straight into a European situation now, and then Welsh derby. So I think it might make a difference to the crowds. We may see a better brand of rugby in better weather. But how it would fit in with the number of competitions we have to play, I really don't know. And as I say, as a group of players and coaches, we have to just get on with what we're presented with. I'd like to think by and large we do pretty well at it, given the circumstances, but and it would affect my cricket season, and Jono's golf, but yeah, it might make a difference, who knows.
Sean, when are there big threats, Saracens?
I think people underestimate them. You know, they go about their work quite quietly and without much fuss, but they're the English champions for a reason. They've got a lot of international influence on and off the field, and they have threats right around the park, but clearly they base it around a good driving maul mark, a big kicking game where they go very aerial with Charlie Hodgson and Owen Farrell, and their defence is pretty good, but we managed to break them down a couple of times on only 40% possession there on the weekend. The ball was only in play for 29 minutes, so you do the maths. You know, we gifted them probably 2 tries, created 2 of our own. So you can clearly see the message we're giving the players this week. And we're expecting a bit of an aerial assault, and a drive and maul assault, and an attritional game from them come this week. And you know, that's their right to do that now. They've got the win.
Structure the back five last week, Sean, just in the forwards, will that be similar this weekend?
We're quite blessed in that department, guys. So you know, we may view it differently this week. You know, we've got strength in depth in there in terms of people like Ian Evans, Ian Goff, you know, George Stowers, Joe Beam, and James King. These fellas. So you know, we may freshen it up a little bit, but you know, we went with a game plan there on the weekend, and by and large, it worked. Had we not given Saracens a head start, so it won't be too different, I don't think. But you know, we're quite positive.
What about your injury list, Sean?
Touch wood, shortening, yeah. We've got Paul James back in full training, available for selection. Yeah, so it's looking now pretty much like Nicky Walker, Gareth Owen, James Good, you know, and Alan Jones. Some big names there, but Khan looks like he'll be available this week, which is really positive. So I mean, we came through the game pretty battle hardened, but unscathed in terms of injury. So we're looking in pretty good shape, which is important coming into this period. You know.
Alan Wynn's time out now. What's it looking like?
Still can't give you any answer on that, Rob. It's such a. He's been to see a consultant today. We've got a medical meeting at 4 now, so I'll know a little bit more then. But again, you know, we're not going to see him over Christmas, that's for sure. So I can't give you any other definitive on that.
Who's looking after him? You or the WIU?
Oh, we're looking after him.
Yeah.
Here he comes.
He's probably due a bit of a rest, man, isn't it? It's a double-edged sword, really, isn't it?
He wouldn't say that.
No,
I
sure.
don't think we'd say that.
Yeah.
But
He's played a lot of rugby.
he's played a lot of the folks, a lot of the players with us, they go from season to season without the pre-season, and you can see the benefits of a pre-season they had for the World Cup.
Yeah.
It's the first full pre-season some of them Adam and Alan Wynne and people like that had for a long time. So again, it goes back to the structured season and there's lots of forces that present that, but